A recent Pride Month post from Sesame Street has gone viral for all the wrong reasons. The post, intended to include LGBTQ inclusivity, has sparked a fierce debate about what kids should be exposed to and who gets to decide. Critics have flooded social media with accusations of grooming and perversion, while others see it as a vital step in helping children learn to respect and embrace diversity. At the heart of this debate isn't just one children's show, but a larger cultural and political battle. Should children's media reflect the diversity of the real world or shield kids from topics some find controversial? This fight isn't new, but the intense reaction to Sesame Street, a show that has always stood for inclusion, underscores how deeply divided the country remains over LGBTQ representation and the role of public broadcasting. Now, experts argue that visibility matters. As the Daily Titan reports, children's programming that reflects real-world diversity can help break down harmful stereotypes and foster empathy, noting, as children grow up to be active members of the community, being able to identify with a character can act as a lifeline for kids. In a time of record-breaking anti-LGBTQ legislation and rhetoric, advocates say these inclusive messages are more important than ever. According to the Trans Legislation Tracker, as of 2025, 100 anti-trans bills have been signed into law. Similarly, the ACLU reports that it is tracking 588 anti-LGBTQ bills in the U.S., with 88 of those coming from Texas alone, highlighting the unprecedented legislative challenges faced by the LGBTQ community. But not everyone agrees. Kansas U.S. Senator Roger Marshall is leading a push for updated TV ratings to warn parents about LGBTQ themes. Marshall wrote in a letter reported by Kansas City News, "This radical and sexual sensation not only harms children, but also destabilizes and damages parental rights." The uproar echoes bigger clashes over public media. During the previous and current Trump administration, the White House moved to defund media stations like PBS, with Trump recently signing an executive order alleging bias, stating, "What does matter is that neither entity presents a fair, accurate, or unbiased portrayal of current events to taxpaying citizens." As a result, PBS has since filed a lawsuit arguing that stripping federal funding violates the First Amendment and amounts to unconstitutional viewpoint discrimination. For Sesame Street, the message has always been clear: kindness, empathy, and inclusion. On their website, they reaffirm, "We champion inclusion in our workplace and for the global community we serve." Programs like Be at Sesame, 123 Proud, and API Belong are all a part of that mission. Supporters of the Pride message argue that the backlash says more about critics than about the show. One viral response stated, "If you think teaching kindness, science, and inclusion is grooming, the problem isn't Sesame Street, it's your paranoia." It seems to be clear this isn't just a debate over a children's show. It's about who controls the cultural narratives kids see, and whether representation itself is controversial. Janet Frick, an associate professor at the University of Georgia who studies how infants and young children develop visual attention, stated that children are sensitive to representation from a very early age. In a phone interview with a Grady News source, Frick explained that even before they started watching media, babies notice when people who look like them are present or absent in their environment. Which is why Frick argues representation in children's media is powerful, because it can challenge those ingrained biases and help kids develop more positive views of marginalized groups. While the Embrace Race organization states, children's media can be a powerful springboard for further healthy racial learning if we embrace the opportunities it presents to us. But what's your take? Let us know your thoughts below and follow us everywhere at What's Trending.